Hi there guys, how you doing? This is your friend and tutor Manas, and guys, it's going to be yet another session in this lecture series based on orthographic prediction. So we're going to take up yet another problem, and it's this one, and we're going to be looking at this object from this X sign. This is for having the front view from over here, for the top view, okay, and the side view. This is going to be specifically the right hand side view. Now to start off, let's make an XY axis. There you go. Now initially what I'm going to be assuming is that the base of this object is at a height of 10 millimeters above HP, something like this, okay, and at the same time that this back portion you see is at a distance of 10 millimeters again from the vertical plane, so it can be seen from the top view. Okay, now this portion over here above this XY line represents vertical plane onto which a front view is going to be made, whereas this portion below this XY line is for having the top view, and this is what you call the horizontal plane. Alright, let's go ahead and let's find the maximum width as well as the maximum height of this entire object, so that I can make a box over here into which I would be inscribing the front view. Now if you see this portion over here, okay, this should work out as 20. I'll tell you why. Now from this point to this point, okay, let me show you. Let me have color from this point over here to this point. The distance is 40. Okay, this distance is 40. If you try to work out this distance over here from here to here, it should work out as 20. All right, now since this portion is the radius of this semicircle I'm talking about, okay, so this distance is also going to work out as 20. All right, now this is 20, this is 20, 20 plus 20 is 40, and this is going to be 40. 40 plus 40 overall should work out as 80 millimeters. So the maximum width of the rectangle that we're going to be drawing over here is going to be 80, and at the same time this height, okay, now all these semicircular profiles that you see, all of them are going to be having radius equivalent to 20 millimeters, okay, since all of them are absolutely congruent to each other. Now the next thing that we need to discuss is from this center to this center over here, this distance is 60 millimeters, and if we go upstairs, this is going to be 20. Let me show you how this distance I'm talking about, guys. Try to work out this distance. It should work out as 20, and when you speak of this distance, let me have a dotted line. This is also gonna work out as 20. So if you take the entire height of this object, it should work out as 20 plus 60 plus 20, that is 100. So essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a rectangle of horizontal distance is going to be 80, whereas the vertical height is going to be 100. That's it. Now initially we're going to kick off our drawing with this point over here. Okay, right, so the point is somewhere here. It cannot be seen exactly, but this point appears as if we need to travel a distance of 12 millimeters. So this is the distance that we're going to travel, 12 millimeters. The point is right over here, okay, and it would appear as if there is a strip of it 12 millimeters. So let's make a 12 millimeter strip, and then from here we're going to go upstairs until we reach this center line, okay, center line. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is this is 60 and down below it's 20, so I'll be traveling a distance of 80 millimeters. So this distance that I've traveled right now is 80 millimeters until we reach here. There you go. Now when you speak of this center, guys, okay, let me use a different color for this. Let me use what color shall I use? Okay, let me use a purple color for this. Okay, so this center I'm talking about appears as at a distance of 20 millimeters. So this is going to be 20 millimeters. All right, from this over here to this over here, 20. Fine. So let us make a center. There you go. That's the center I'm talking about, and with this as the center, okay, and a radius equivalent to how much? This is going to be 20. I'm going to be drawing a semicircle. Now again with this as the center and radius equivalent to 8 millimeters. Let me tell you why 8 millimeters. This circle that you see appears to have a diameter of 16. So diameter is 16. Obviously the radius is going to be 8. So with this as center, let's draw a circle of radii 8 millimeters. Now that we've reached here, let me show you again. We've reached here, this point. So I'm going to come downwards by an amount of 20 millimeters. Okay, 20 millimeters. So let's travel in the downward direction. Yeah, that's it. And let me write this down. This is how much? This is 20, and now I need to move over here absolutely straight until we reach here. Okay, that's something, it should look something like this, and we've reached here. All right, that means this point is over here and over here. All right, now we need to travel in the downward direction somewhere here. This distance is going to be 12 millimeters. Okay, there you go, that's 12. So let's travel by an amount of 12 millimeters. Okay, that's 12 millimeters. Let me write it down, and then the next thing to do is to have a vertical line from this point in the upward direction and from this point in the horizontal direction, but towards the left hand side. Okay, and both of them are going to intersect here. Let me show you how that can be done. That is exactly that's exactly what I was trying to say. Okay, now the outlines are over. The next thing to do is to have this axis from the center, have this axis also, this axis also. Now let us try to figure out this particular point. Now guys, this particular point you see appears at a distance of 20 millimeters from over here. So from over here I'm going to be making an axis at a distance of 20 millimeters with the help of these so-called dash dot lines. Okay, now this distance I'm talking about, this distance you see, since this circle is having a diameter of 16, this distance is going to be 8 millimeters. So towards the right I'm going to be having a hidden line, something like this, and towards the left again I'm going to be having a hidden line. There you go. So what is the next thing that you're going to do? You see this point. Now this point, in fact, let me this is 20. Okay, height of this point, center point is 20. So at a distance of 20 millimeters I'm going to have to make an axis. There you go. And this distance is 8, and below that is also 8. So at a height of 8 you're going to have a hidden line. At a height below you're again going to have a hidden line. So this distance, if you try to ask me what this distance is, this is 8 millimeters. Okay, over here also this is 8 millimeter. I'm going to be deleting all these so-called dimensions which I've written down. I'm going to be deleting them at the end of this video tutorial. Now let's go ahead and let's see what else can be seen, or what else cannot be seen, but it is there. Okay, now there is an edge behind this in this direction. Okay, I cannot show you exactly. Let me try to do that. Like this edge you see over here, similarly there is an edge behind, something behind the surface. Let me try to make that. It's going to look something like this. There is an edge going to be behind. All right, now this edge cannot be seen directly, but it has to be given some respect since it has its presence, and that can only be done with the help of a hidden line. So from over here till here, in a very horizontal sort of a way, we're going to be drawing hidden lines. There you go. So the front view is almost done. We'll now go ahead and make the final top view. Alright guys, this object appears to have a width of 80 millimeters. You know that very well. And as far as this length is concerned, something that you're going to see from the top, this distance, 12 plus 16 is 28, 28 plus 12 is 40. So I'm going to be making a rectangle of 40 by 80, and it should look something like this. This is 40 and this over here is 80. Now what's next? Okay, now starting from this point corresponds to this point. Okay, let me again, that's it. Where is it? Yeah, so this sort of a semicircle, then there is this line until we reach this center point. Okay, center point over here, this center point, this is the center line until we reach somewhere here approximately, and somewhere here you're going to see a straight line. Okay, when you try to look at this from the top, this portion will look as a straight line, and this portion also will look as a straight line. Let me show that. That's it. This is the portion that I was talking about, and obviously you can have these lines, so-called lines, reference lines from the front view, so that it becomes easier for you to make this top view. Now we will now go ahead and locate this center. This center appears at a distance of 20 millimeters from here or here, whatever. Let us say starting from this point, I'm going to be traveling a distance of 20 millimeters so that I can have a center over here. Now with this as center and with radius, obviously this radius is 20 millimeters. So I'm going to be making an arc, or a semicircle I should say, something like this. Yeah, and again with this as center, and with this and this as the extreme points of a circle, or you can also say taking a radii of 8 millimeters, you can draw a circle and it should look something like this. Let's get rid of the center. Now what's next? You see this portion, this is some kind of a strip that you're going to see that starts from here and ends here, starts from here and ends here, and in the front view it starts here and ends here. That means there are going to be strips over here, okay, and over here. All right, now this is 12, this is 16, and this is 12. So at a distance of 12, let me do that quickly. So okay, let me provide the dimensions. This is 12, this is 16, and this again is 12. Let us close this. Okay, let us close this. There you go, exactly here, and there you go, exactly here. Done. The top view is almost done, but with a few modifications still to be carried out. What else is left? Now there is going to be this circle, okay, the cylindrical drill that you see, a hole that you see, which is going to be seen from the top also. Okay, the limits are, you're going to have initially an axis. Okay, let me show that. You're going to have an axis over here passing through this point. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having an axis at a distance of say 20 millimeters from over here. So this point is 20 millimeters from over here. This point I'm talking about, 20 millimeters from this end. So from 20 millimeters from this end, I'm going to be having axis, something like this. So an axis for this profile also, this hole also, and for this hole also, for both of them. So I've made the axis. And to be very specific, if you try to work out this distance I'm talking about, this distance is 8, and at the same time this distance also is 8. All right, so 8 millimeters towards the left from the center and 8 millimeters towards the right of the center. I'm going to be having hidden lines. So those hidden lines are going to be for the front hole also and for the back hole also, and it should look something like this. And okay, that's exactly what I was talking about. This distance is 8 millimeters and this also is 8 millimeters. If you try to figure out how much this distance is, this is how much, this is 20 millimeters. That's all. Okay, let me tell you once again that you guys don't need to write all of this 12, 16 and stuff. You don't need to do all of this stuff. Okay, and I'm just writing all of this to explain you how these dimensions are transformed from this pictorial representation into this orthographic projection. Now in the next step, let's see what else can be done. There is something else which can be seen. Okay, if you try to visualize this object from the top, there is an edge which is there whose presence should be felt. Something like this. There is an edge over here. Okay, 12 millimeters from over here, there is an edge. So let us make that edge. Okay, let us complete this, something like this. Okay, this is the entire edge. All right, now we'll now go ahead and create the what you call the right hand side view, and for that we have to look at this object from over here. So let's have a reference line initially so that we can have a, this is what you call a profile plane, this is what you call a vertical plane onto which this front view has been made, and this to be very specific is the horizontal plane. Now let's have these, this is the line at an angle of say 45 degrees. All right, let's have these lines, and let's shift this line, these lines so called in the upper direction. All right, something like this will happen. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, fine. Let's have the lines from the front view also towards this left hand side. Okay, so these are the intersection points. Now we'll now go ahead, and this portion you see, this line, all right, this is the strip I'm talking about. Let me show which portion I have drawn right now. This is the portion that I have drawn right now. Okay, from here to here. Okay, then this is the portion that I have drawn right now, this one. All right, and then finally this is the portion that I have drawn right now, and we can locate this center. So this center is going to be at a distance of 20 millimeters from over here, from this end, 20 millimeters towards the right. Locate the center with this as the center, make a semicircle of 20 millimeter radii. Okay, something like this, and again with that center itself you're going to have to make another circle, okay, of 8 millimeter radii. Something like this will happen. Now travel upstairs, something like this. There you go. Finally this. Now this strip is 12 millimeters, so we're gonna have to travel 12 from this point towards the right and 12 from this point towards the left, something like this, and then travel downwards until you reach this edge over here. This edge I'm talking about, this edge. All right, there you go. Now when you try to look at this object from the front, this semicircular portion will appear as a line. Okay, hence you're gonna have a line over here, something like this, and this semicircular portion again will appear as a line, but 12 millimeters below. 12 millimeters below. Okay, that's it. Now what else can you see from the front? You're gonna have to see this axis, so-called axis, you know, from this point you're gonna see an axis, from this point you're gonna see an axis. So this point corresponds to this point in the front view, and you try to keep your scale over here, then you can have this axis also. Okay, or you can also say, you can make this distance as 20 millimeters. Let me write that down. So this distance is going to be 20 millimeters from this point to this point, that's 20. All right, and at this distance you can make this axis for this circular profile as well as this circular profile. Now let us go ahead, and the starting point and this is the ending point 8 millimeters above and 8 millimeters below for both these profiles, and the hidden lines are here. There you go. So what else is left? Is there something else that you're going to see? All right, now we're going to go ahead and make this profile. So starts from here and ends here, because we are looking at this object from over here, that is from the right hand side. Okay, and it should be something like this. This profile I'm talking about, please see where the mouse is hovering. There you go, and that's it. There you go, exactly. Okay, and there you go from here. All right, that's the axis. Okay, you can say that this axis at a distance of 20 millimeters from over here, 20 millimeters from here, and then towards 8 millimeters towards this left, we're gonna have a hidden line, and 8 millimeters towards the right also we're gonna have a hidden line. Okay, so guys, that was all as far as the orthographic or multi views are concerned. We'll now go ahead and make this some sort of an arc, you see. Okay, let us see. Now I'm going to be making that stuff on AutoCAD. It's going to be very easy. Let me show you how that can be done. Alright guys, so that's the profile that I've made, and if you try to look at this object from over here, from this X mark, from the front, there appears as curved, slightly curved like this over here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a fillet of this. Let us try to do that. There you go. Alright, and let me slightly clip this portion. Perfect. Now this portion in fact is also appears as a fillet. So what I've done is I've made a small quarter arc, you can say, or a quarter circle, you can say, of a radii 5 millimeters. That's exactly what we've done. Okay, over here also I'm going to provide a fillet. That's it. Is there anything else that we can do or we should do? No, from the front the filleting is done from the front. Okay, when you try to look at this object from over here, that is from the right hand side, there is a fillet over here also and a fillet over here also. Let's go ahead and do that. Let us do that. Let me use the fillet command. Where is it? Yeah. There you go. Again, I'm going to be using this fillet command for this and this. There you go. All right. So guys, that was all from my side. If you have any doubts or queries, do write them down in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to answer them. And if you guys believe that this video tutorial has added value to your knowledge of engineering drawing or engineering graphics, then do recommend this channel to your friends and classmates so that all of you can learn engineering drawing in the best possible way. I'm going to be taking up some more problems based on orthographic prediction in the upcoming weeks, and the level of difficulty definitely is going to rise. You'll see that. Until then, it's a wrap for today, guys. This is Manas Patnaik signing off. Take care, have a great day, and keep drawing.